Uh, sure. Good afternoon, folks. My name is Arif, and thank you so much for coming out. And you're showing up here shows that you understand how important this issue is and how important it is to protest it and register our dissent so people know that as the propaganda is that people, Indians, NRIs are in favor of CA and RC, they are not. So coming out together is great, and we have to keep coming out, keep organizing, keep talking to each other because this thing is not gonna go in one day. This current regime is not gonna bend in one day and take this draconian anti-poor, anti-people legislation back. So we need to keep fighting. So kind of introduce the topic and tell you a little bit about CA and RC and some of the details. I'd like to invite Bahuli. Is Bahuli around? Yeah, please. So Bahuli will just talk a little bit about what CA and NRC is and what should be the response of the people. Thank you, Bahuli.
Hi guys, so I will not be getting into the legal aspects of the CA and NRC, but just to sort of give you an overview on why these two are problematic and why a combination of them together is something that's an attack on India's soul. Yeah? Okay, so the Citizenship Amendment Act is basically something that's been brought out to divide us on religious lines. And the NRC is something that is going to make every Indian question their citizenship. It makes every Indian vulnerable to arbitrary powers of the state. There is a reason why they're not telling us which documents we can submit under the NRC. It's because they want to decide who gets to be called a citizen of India and who doesn't. It's also important to understand why these issues are being prioritized right now. We're in the midst of an economic and climate crisis in India. Why is our government prioritizing the CAA NRC over the economic crisis? Why is the government sanctioning 4,000 crores for the NPR when we are in a severe economic slowdown, which has been flagged by the IMF? We have a jobs crisis. We have the highest unemployment we've had in years. There's an agricultural crisis. We don't have investment coming into India. People are dying. Then why is CAA NRC the priority? It is to divert and to not focus on what's really happening in India. So this is something that we need to challenge because this erodes this is an attack on India's soul. It erodes our secular fabric. It goes against everything the Constitution stands for. It goes against everything that India is about. India is about celebrating diversity and difference, and that is why we don't have a state religion, because we witnessed the horrors of the partition. We realize that we do not want to be divided on religious lines, and we need to ensure that the party in power does not divide us on those lines. So we need to chant together कि हम कागज नहीं दिखाएंगे, हम कागज नहीं दिखाएंगे, हम कागज नहीं दिखाएंगे. Thank you. I think Nupur.
So, thank you very much, Pauli. That was a very good start to the proceedings. We have some chants. So, the very usual hey, hey, ho, ho, CA has got to go, okay? Hey, hey, ho, ho! CA has got to go! Hey, hey, ho, ho! CA has got to go! Hey, hey, ho, ho! CA has got to go! And hey, hey, ho, ho, and NRC has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho! NRC has got to go! Hey, hey, ho, ho! NRC has got to go! Hey, hey, ho, ho! NRC has got to go! I'd like to call upon Suraj. Suraj, please share your thoughts with us on NRC, CAA, anything else?
Good morning, friends and comrades. Muslims are integral and eternal part of India, and we are part of India. So if Muslims are not part of India, we are also not part of India. I think this statement has to be communicated across the ideological, across the caste, across the political spectrum. What this state has managed to do is isolate Muslims as they have been doing it since the independence time. Every time they have gotten the sympathies of Hindus, and I argue there's no singular identity of Hindus. It's a forced conglomeration of castes. Various caste groups are forced into the identity of Hindu. The old man Bhagwat of RSS recently said that all 130 crore Indians are Hindus. Now, I don't remember the last time my ancestors were Hindus. My ancestors were untouchables for this civilization. My ancestors were the landless laborers, as well as the people who were raped, tortured, and massacred. We were never brought up into the project of Hindus. How will our ancestors and our past be claimed to belong to Hindu? There's no such thing as Hindu. Hindu was a concept developed in 1890s by Arya Samajis. Before then, it was different castes who were fighting for their own breadcrumbs. Only after 1890s it turns out to be a Hindu. And therefore, when they are claiming Hindu, they're actually erasing the glorious histories of my community and so many other communities of India. It's not singularly against Muslim. Muslim is an easy target because Islamophobia is sold in this global capitalist market. Everybody loves Islamophobia. Islamophobia becomes a moment for us to reject our liberal sympathies and find out the terrorist in other, and most likely he or she is a Muslim. American corporate civilization has given us the modern definition of Islamophobia, and thus we tend to emulate those stereotypes about being or what a Muslim means. And that's why what the regime has done is, now recently Amit Shah has given a statement that those protesting CAA or NRC are actually anti-Dalit. I think he was talking about himself. When was the last time Modi government or Amit Shah raised a voice against the manual scavenging deaths that were happening in Gujarat? When was the last time Amit Shah rose to the stage to protest against the life that was lost for Rohit Vemula?
Never.
When was the last time Amit Shah stood on the field and said that Rohit Vemula's mother, I am with you and I will fight against Manu Smriti Irani? When was the last time Amit Shah came to the stage of landless laborers who are Dalits and as well as the farmers who are from the poor background from Tamil Nadu who had to eat their own feces and said, I am with you? When was the last time did Amit Shah ever claim his own Sindhi Baniya identity? He's not even a Hindu. What audacity! And this is being the fooling of all the other liberal Hindus who claim themselves that Hindus are not against this or other. You are being fooled. And that's why the ethno-nationalism that this government is propagating, we know now as a Dalit, they want me to stand for the regime. So it appears that I'm for the country. And if I'm for the country, I have to be against the Muslims. Because Muslims are not the originators of this country. Now let me bring to your attention. Muslims have been indigenous to culture. Because before Islam, the people who converted to Islam were indigenous to the culture. These have been, in today's terms, in constitutional terms, we call them scheduled caste, OBCs, nomadic tribes, denotified tribes, and at level, the scheduled tribe. Payal Tadvi, a young, smart MBBS, Bill tribe, Muslim woman, doctor, was forced to commit suicide in the same vein as Rohit Vemula. Where was Amit Shah then when he was saying the people protesting against CAA or NRC are actually against Dalits? So let's cut crap and let's cut short of this hypocrisy of this regime. They have always used the divisive tactics. British time of colonization was only 200 years. These people have been fooling us for more than 3,000 years. Our historical memory has to be expanded. And finally, our economy is going into trenches. GDP is all-time low. It's to hide the failure of every ruling monarch that they create sectarian divisions. CAA and NRC is as much against my grandmother or against my mother or against my existence as much as it is against the existence of Kashif, Arif, Muhammad or everyone else. And unless we understand this difference, we won't be able to support any legislation that were claiming to kind of unify India. And I think the idea of India has to be now thought through the progress, and these people who claim themselves to be, who are fighting, or at least some of us who are here will be alleged as being the Tukde gang. I think the people who are dividing the India based on religious, caste as well as other sectarian lines are the Tukde gangs, and I think we should put this back into the room and let's make them defensive for what the crime they have committed. Finally, let us also pay attention to the vile form of oppression that people belonging to different sexualities are facing in India. Their voices need to be prioritized in our struggle, in our movement too. Because of our certain religious as well as certain caste affiliation, we might undermine those precious, important voices. They need to be part of us and they need to lead the struggle that we are leading here. Our struggles cannot be heteronormative, patriarchal in the way we see. It needs to be de-Brahmanized, and to be de-Brahmanizing is to get rid of our caste. And that's why all the people who are standing here, I just have one poster for you. Please pay attention to this and take a message home.
Oh, the other way.
Other way.
Thank you. Thank you, Suraj. I'll invite Payal for some chants, please. Okay.
Alright, so when I say, what do we do? You say, stand up, fight back. Sound good? Alright, so when Muslim lives are under attack, what do we do? When Muslim lives are under attack, what do we do? When Rohingya lives are under attack, what do we do? When Rohingya lives are under attack, what do we do? When Dalit lives are under attack, what do we do? When Kashmiri lives are under attack, what do we do? When refugee lives are under attack, what do we do? When refugee lives are under attack, what do we do? Alright, thank you! Thanks for screaming! Alright, so we're gonna call up our next speaker. Wait, where does Arif go? Arif is gonna call up the next speaker.
Thank you, Payal. I'd like to call upon Satya. Satya, please.
Once again.
दोस्तों, देसी दोस्तों, विदेशी दोस्तों, परदेसी दोस्तों, अब 2 बार आ गया मोदी सरकार, राइट? उसके बाद क्या आया? अब की बार क्या आया? अब की बार आया अत्याचार, अब की बार आया बलात्कार, अब की बार आया भ्रष्टाचार, अब की बार आया बेरोजगार, अब की बार आया चाटुकार, अब की बार आया लाठी मार, अब की बार आया गोली मार, आया हाहाकार, अब की बार आया नरसंहार, अब की बार आया अंधकार, घोर अंधकार, अब की बार हुआ हिंदुस्तान कमजोर। ये एक हुसैन हैदरी के लफ्ज में है। यहाँ पे जो हिंदुस्तान से है, अभी हम इकट्ठा हुए हैं। हमारा देश भारत गणराज्य हिंदुस्तान एक धर्मनिरपेक्ष देश था, सभी का खून मिलने वाला देश। खून है, लहू है, रक्त भी है, जो भी आप कहिए। कुछ लोग जिनका अभी राज है, वो लोग मिट्टी से खून छानना चाहते हैं, छान कर फेंकना चाहते हैं। अभी ये जो हिंदुत्व वाले, ये जो मोदी और शाह की जोड़ी का राज है, वो लोग एक कानून बनाए हैं जो कि एक संप्रदाय के विरोधी है, संविधान विरोधी है, हिंदुस्तानियत के विरोधी है। कहते हैं कि कानून अंधा है, लेकिन ये जो नागरिक संशोधन वाला कानून है, ये अंधा नहीं है, ये एक बुरी नजर वाला कानून है, नफरत की कानून है, नियत खोटे वाला कानून है। जो कि हिंदुस्तान की विविधताओं को गहरा चोट देने वाला कानून, भारत तोड़ने वाला कानून। इतिहास देख लीजिए, यह कानून लोगों को बेघर करने वाला कानून है, संप्रदाय को बेघर करने वाला कानून है, यह गणहत्या वाला कानून है, यह बुरी नजर वाला कानून लोगों को बांटने के लिए है। अब क्या मिलेगा उन्हें लोगों को बांटने से? ये लोग हमें जवाब नहीं देते हैं, ये देते हैं कुछ चुने हुए लूटने वालों से, जैसे अंबानी हो, अदानी हो, जिन्होंने उनको खरीद के रखा है। दुनिया असल में दोनों तरह से बंटा हुआ है, कमाने वाले और लूटने वाले। उसी में तो असली संघर्ष है, और उसके साथ संघर्ष से इतिहास में जो शोषित हुआ है, जिसका सदियों से बड़ा शोषण हुआ है, उसका संघर्ष। लेकिन ये सब बुरी नजर वाले उन्हीं सभी संघर्षों को छुपाना चाहते हैं, उन सभी संघर्ष को मिटाना चाहते हैं। हमारी असली संघर्ष जितना मिटेगा, लूटने वाला उतना आसानी से लूट पाएगा। ये आप अच्छी तरह समझ लीजिए। अब लोगों को बांटने से संघर्ष बंट जाता है, ये आप अच्छी तरह समझ लीजिए। कमाने वाले जब अपने में झगड़ेंगे तो लूटने वाला आसानी से लूट लेगा। जब हम और आप लड़ने लगेंगे, हमारा संघर्षों का क्या होगा? यह नागरिक संशोधन कानून का सिलसिला आज से नहीं, पहले से शुरू हुआ। अंग्रेजों के चापलूस हिंदुत्व वालों पहले से एक हिंदू राष्ट्र बनाना चाहते थे। उस समय वो बना नहीं पाए थे, लेकिन बाद में मस्जिद तोड़ के मंदिर के नाम पे वो सरकार पे आ गए। जब मोदी से पहले बीजेपी का वाजपेयी का सरकार थी, उस सरकार ने रातों रात बना दिया कुछ लोगों को घुसपैठी। उससे पहले और एक नागरिक संशोधन वाला कानून था। उससे पहले घुसपैठी का कुछ कानूनी मतलब नहीं था। वो था पहला चरण का बांटने का खेल। अब मोदी के राज में दूसरा चरण आ गया है। इसमें हिंदुत्व वाले दूसरा खतरनाक खेल चालू करना चाहते हैं, जिसमें कागज नहीं दिखा पाएगा तो अगर वो हिंदू है तो उसको मिल जाएगा शरणार्थी का दर्जा, लेकिन वो अगर मुस्लिम है तो उसको कहा जाएगा घुसपैठी। अभी सभी गरीब कमाने वाले, उनके पास कागज नहीं होते हैं, तो वो बन जाएंगे घुसपैठी। लेकिन अगर कोई हिंदू है तो उसको छूटने का अवसर मिल जाएगा। यही तो है ब्राह्मणवाद, जो कि तय करता है किसी को करना है बहिष्कृत, समाज से बहिष्कार, देश से बहिष्कार। आप अंदर हो सकते हैं, राष्ट्र के अंदर हो सकते हैं, लेकिन आपको करना होगा और किसी को बहिष्कार। यही है ब्राह्मणवाद, समझ लीजिए आप। हम दोनों को अस्वीकार करना है, दोनों को ही अस्वीकार करना है, पूरा खारिज करना है। पहले घुसपैठी कहना, लोगों को बांटना है। दूसरी, धर्म के आधार पर बहिष्कृत करना भी लोगों को बांटना है। यहां पे ट्रंप वही तो करता है। उसने लैटिन अमेरिका के लोगों को खिलाफ नफरत फैलाया, पश्चिम एशिया के मुस्लिमों के खिलाफ नफरत फैलाया। उससे पहले ओबामा भी घुसपैठी कह के बहुत सारे लोगों को निकाल दिया। हम सभी प्रवासी देशियों को यह मालूम होना चाहिए, 1960 से पहले हम ये देश में नहीं आ सकते थे, क्योंकि सफेद प्रभुत्व वाला लोग कानून बनाए जिसमें हम नहीं आ सकते थे। तो ब्राह्मणवाद और जो सफेद लोगों का प्रभुत्व वाला कानून है, वो एक नफरत और बहिष्कार की कानून है। लेकिन उन लोगों को यह चाल अभी चलने नहीं देंगे। लोग जाग रहे हैं, अभी एकजुट होके सभी सड़क पे खड़े हैं, मैदान पे खड़े हैं, सभी मांग कर रहे हैं कि नफरत वाला कानून हटाओ। मोदी साहब, तुम जितना कायदा कर लो, जितना कायदा कर लो, तुम मिट्टी से खून छान नहीं पाओगे। कान खोल कर सुन मोदी सरकार, तुम बांटना चाहता है, हम बांटने नहीं देंगे, तुम तोड़ नहीं पाओगे। हम एकजुट होके, मजबूत होके जोड़ेंगे। हिंदुत्व वालों, तुम्हारा बांटना वाला कानून लेकर हम सब असली संघर्षों को खत्म करना चाहते हो तुम लोग। हम ये बांटना वाला कानून जला देंगे। हम प्रवासियों को यहाँ का संघर्ष और उधर देश में चल रहा संघर्ष एक ही है। इस धरती में हमारा संघर्ष सभी कमाने वालों के साथ है, और जो सभी शोषित हुए हैं यहाँ पे उनके साथ है। इधर सभी का संघर्ष को साथ लेकर हमें संघर्ष करना है, और भारत के धरती पे भी हमारा संघर्ष सभी कमाने वालों के साथ है, सभी शोषितों के साथ है। उधर भी हमें सभी संघर्षों को साथ लेकर चलना है। नागरिक संशोधन वाला कानून हटाओ, संविधान बचाओ और देश बचाओ. Thank you, Satya from Answer Coalition here. So, as we have been hearing a lot of people that how this act and not just this act but also NRC is anti-people, anti-poor, because ultimately it is based on showing some sort of paper or other, like some sort of documentation, and we know that who are the people who are document poor. It's mostly the poor, the people who are socioeconomically poor are also the document poor, who are gonna be most affected by this, whether they are Muslims, Dalits, Bahujans, women, because they mostly don't have property in their names, and this act also recognizes property paper as a proof of your occupancy or citizenship. So there is sort of a solidarity movement as well. A lot of people, some people have talked about it. If you have papers, so you don't show your papers in solidarity with those people who don't have papers. So, Varun Grover has actually written a poem on it called "हम कागज नहीं दिखाएंगे." We won't show the papers. So it's this form of civil disobedience. That even if I have papers, I won't show it. It will show solidarity with the people who don't have it. So I'll read it in Hindustani, which the language he wrote it in, and there's a rough English translation I'll give later. It goes like, तानाशाह आके जाएंगे, हम कागज नहीं दिखाएंगे. तानाशाह आके जाएंगे, हम कागज नहीं दिखाएंगे. तुम आंसू गैस उछालोगे, तुम जहर की चाय उबालोगे, हम प्यार की शक्कर घोल के उसको गट 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 पी जाएंगे. हम कागज नहीं दिखाएंगे, हम कागज नहीं दिखाएंगे. ये देश ही अपना हासिल है जहां राम प्रसाद भी बिस्मिल है. ये देश ही अपना हासिल है जहां राम प्रसाद भी बिस्मिल है. मिट्टी को कैसे बांटोगे, सबका ही खून तो शामिल है. तुम पुलिस से लठ पड़ा दोगे, तुम मेट्रो बंद करा दोगे. हम पैदल पैदल आएंगे, हम कागज नहीं दिखाएंगे. हम मंजी यही बिछाएंगे, हम कागज नहीं दिखाएंगे. हम संविधान बचाएंगे, हम कागज नहीं दिखाएंगे. हम जनगण मन भी गाएंगे, हम कागज नहीं दिखाएंगे. तुम जात पात में बांटोगे, हम भात मांगते जाएंगे. हम कागज नहीं दिखाएंगे, हम कागज नहीं दिखाएंगे. And there's a rough English translation. Dictators will come and go, the NRC papers we won't show. Dictators will come and go, the NRC papers we won't show. You blind us with tear gas, you poison our waters, that our love will sweeten and we will drink it all in a go. The NRC papers we won't show, the NRC papers we won't show. This nation is all we got, the Ram Prasad is also Bismil. How will you divide the motherland that has blood and sacrifice of every Indian? Raise your batons all you can, shut down every train you can. We will walk, we will flow, the NRC papers we won't show. We will pitch our tents here, the NRC papers we won't show. We will save the constitution before we go, the NRC papers we won't show. We will sing the national anthem, bro, the NRC papers we won't show. You will try to divide us by caste and religion, and united we will keep demanding food and truth. The NRC paper we won't show, the NRC paper we won't show. Thank you. I'd like to call upon Agne to bring some music to the protest and make it a little bit more lively. So Agne, guys, please give him a big hand. Agne.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a tough job. So Agne is gonna sing Nazm by Faiz Ahmed Faiz, which has become kind of which has been a revolutionary call to action since it has been written, made famous by Iqbal Banu in Pakistan during Zia's regime. And the ridiculous thing is that some institutions in India, quite prominent institute in India, started an inquiry in this Nazm, saying that it is anti-Hindu, which is the weirdest thing I have heard in a long time. And these days you hear a lot of weird things. So basically, it's a call to action, and in the face of repression and atrocity, the resolve of the people that we will stand together and will face you down. You do anything, we'll face you down. You bring your tanks, you bring your guns, we'll face you down. And at the end of our struggle, a day will come when all these people who are sitting in high positions will fall, will drop, and the rule of the people, kind of the history will be written by people and the rule of the people will establish. That's the very brief gist of it. So over to Agnes, please.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Aaron. And here's हम देखेंगे. हम देखेंगे. हम देखेंगे. लाजिम है कि हम भी देखेंगे. हम देखेंगे. हम देखेंगे. लाजिम है कि हम भी देखेंगे. हम देखेंगे. वो बनका जिसका वादा है हम देखेंगे. जो लाज़िम का है हम देखेंगे. हम देखेंगे. लाजिम है कि हम भी देखेंगे. हम देखेंगे. जब जुल्मों सितम के कोहे गरा. जब जुल्मों सितम के कोहे गरा. रूह की तरह उड़ जाएंगे. रूह की तरह उड़ जाएंगे. हम महकूमों के पाँव चले. हम महकूमों के पाँव तले. जब धरती धड़ धड़ धड़केगी. जब धरती धड़ धड़ धड़केगी. और अहम के सर पर जब बिजली कड़कड़ कड़केगी. हम देखेंगे. हम देखेंगे. लाजिम है कि हम भी देखेंगे. हम देखेंगे. जबर से खुदा के काबे से. जबर से खुदा के काबे से. सब बुत डुबाए जाएंगे. हम अहले सफा मरदूदे हरम. हम अहले सफा मरदूदे हरम. मसनद पे बिठाए जाएंगे. सब ताज उछाले जाएंगे. सब ताज उछाले जाएंगे. सब तख्त गिराए जाएंगे. हम देखेंगे. हम देखेंगे. लाजिम है कि हम भी देखेंगे. हम देखेंगे. हम देखेंगे. हम देखेंगे.
That was amazing. Thank you, Agnes. That was just great. Thank you very much. I would like to call upon Ryan to please share his thoughts with us on CNRC.
Thanks, Arif. It's really inspiring to be out here on this cold, windy day today with all of you. I'm very disturbed and discouraged by what I've seen going on, what the Modi government has been attempting to carry out with support of the big corporate houses, but I can't say that I'm surprised. The BJP and the RSS have been very clear from their beginning, from their founding, what they plan to do once they have power. MS Goldwalker's horrible book is We Are Nationhood Defined is still taught today in RSS schools. And in that text, he's very clear that the RSS, drawing its inspiration from the Nazi Party, that the RSS hopes to do to Muslims in India what the Nazis did to Jews in Europe. Now the scale, given that there's over 200 million Muslims in India, is on a whole another level. And so this is a very important thing that needs to be exposed to Americans and to people around the world. Unfortunately, most people in the US are totally unaware of this basic ideological link between the RSS and the Nazi Party. What's more, as others have already spoken to eloquently, even when the RSS is talking about so-called Hindu society, they're very explicit. For example, in 2018, when Mohan Bhagwat was here in the US at the World Hindu Congress, he said Hindus need to live together and work together separately. He was very open in talking about an apartheid caste system that the RSS is already working to implement through violent lynchings and attacks and through Brahminical terror on Dalits, on OBCs, on Bahujans, across the board. And so, as we stand up against CAA and NRC, it's important that we expose all of this. But it's important that we also not lose sight of the history, that we not get caught in a form of presentism that just focuses on the crimes of the BJP and RSS and doesn't look at their process of historical development. Because then we start to look at a whole series of events, like 1984, like the various wars that have been waged against the Adivasis, with a rosy lens and say, oh, what if we just go back a few years ago, things would be great. But that's not true. Because even before the BJP and RSS came to power, about 40% of Dalits and Muslims and Adivasis were living in a state of malnutrition. Now, the World Health Organization says that if 30% of a population is malnourished, that population is in a state of famine. And so that's the legacy that the RSS came into power to handle. It's a new form of rule, certainly, a more openly fascist, a more openly terrible form of attack on the people, a more open effort of divide and rule. But it is also a continuation of the past policies of the Congress Party, and the past policies of the British Raj, and the past policies of the various corporations, both Indian and multinational, which have supported these governments. I mean, if we look at the Ambanis, Adanis, Tatas, who were they? They were the collaborators with the British. They went against the independence struggle. They helped to grow poppies, to make opium, to poison China for the British Empire. And to work hand in glove with the multinational corporations, as they do today, not only British, but also French, American, Japanese, and so on, to divide the natural resources and the human resources of India for the profits of the elite in India, a small elite, and for the profits of the multinational corporations, the big capitalist firms here in the United States, who are lining up to help with these concentration camps, to help with the looting of the country. And so, we need to raise our voices against CAA and NRC. We need to raise our voices against Hindutva. But we also need to look back over the history and not close our eyes to the crimes of the present. And not, because if we do, then we fail to see the continuity. And then we can stand up against the Modi Raj, as we should, and we just go back to another form of oppressive rule where still 30-40% of the population of many oppressed communities are malnourished, where so many live in poverty for the benefit of the few elite. And so unless we take this broader historical context into focus in the struggle, then this will be a powerful moment but an ephemeral victory that will immediately come under attack by the ruling elite. Because honestly, the US government, who's been integral in promoting the rise of the BJP, the multinational corporates, the Tatas, the Ambanis, Adanis, they don't really care if it's one big capitalist party or another. And they don't care which zamindars they're backing. As long as their profits keep rolling in, they're fine with whatever strategy works best for the moment. So it's important that we not have illusions about the past and we continue the struggle, not only against CAA and NRC, not only against Hindutva, but also against Islamophobia, also against patriarchy, also against Brahmanism and the caste system as a whole, and also against capitalism and the forms of feudal rule that continue today. So that's all I have to say. Power to the people. No CAA, no NRC.
Thank you, and like Payal, yeah, please, please, be careful.
Great, so can we start with the chant again to like warm ourselves up? I know it's getting windy. Thank you for being here. Okay, so I just want you to say after me, CAA has got to go. So detention centers, we say no. CAA has got to go. Police violence, we say no. CAA has got to go. Internet shutdowns, we say no. CAA has got to go. Cool. So hi everyone, my name's Pyle, and as someone who's grown up primarily in the US, I want to speak a bit to why, as an American diaspora, it's so important for us to show up. Even though this is a bill that's being enacted in India, it has major implications for us and how we're holding our communities here accountable. Oh, cool. So, as you know, we're here today because we stand with our community, our Muslim community, refugee community, Dalit communities, all being targeted by the Citizenship Amendment Bill in India and beyond. People claim that this bill is about protecting minorities, but really this bill exploits the language of safe refuge to create conditions for Indian citizenship that are based on faith and is really about delegitimizing Muslim statehood. In fact, folks in India who are proponents of this bill have claimed that this is a move to protect the country from terrorism, which is language that we've heard by folks who are Islamophobic across the world and in the US. As a South Asian American and member of the Indian diaspora, I am not here to have my safety defined by a violent fascist state. So Modi has tweeted that this bill will be a landmark for compassion and brotherhood. That's the exact language that he's used. But if he cares so much about protecting minorities compassionately, then why has there been mass paramilitary activity and police violence across the subcontinent, with multiple activists being killed and arrested for peacefully protesting? If he cares so much about compassion and brotherhood, why are there increased police crackdowns, social media surveillance, media control, and other curfews that are being invoked? In fact, the country is trying to invoke some colonial-era British laws to prevent people from gathering. And as we speak, Delhi is under a sort of police rule where folks can be detained for really no reason at all. All of this is happening in real time. And then as a diaspora, you know, we need to be more critical about our communities here. There is a huge support system for fascism abroad that's coming from businesses and people in our own backyards. So much money is coming from the US and going to support BJP and other right-wing groups in India. When we think about like our communities, our temples, grocery stores, we need to be critical about where we're putting our money into and where it's going, and how important it is for us as a community to use the fact that we are living in a place where we have access to the internet. We have the ability to uplift voices. We have the ability to share art and messages from Kashmir, Assam, and all of these other countries that are being shut down by the right-wing fascist government. We need to think critically about how we can use this to uplift the work that's happening on the ground, to think about how we can stand in solidarity with university students in India that are being shut down by military and police violence, who are trying to stand against and stand up for their community that is under attack. As a diaspora and as South Asian Americans, it's important that we build a community that rejects the ethno-violence back home. We don't need to be told what safety and what community looks like by folks that are not working for us and are not created by us. You know, even though this bill explicitly targets Rohingya refugees, Muslim immigrants, and other folks who are going to be most affected, as have been mentioned, are those who are already incredibly vulnerable, whether it's Dalit, Bahujan, queer, undocumented, and this is the same kind of violence and ethnocentrism that fuels issues like detainment camps that are happening at the border, that are fueling Islamophobia worldwide, and other forms of fascist violence that we're seeing in our own homes here. So as I was saying, you know, we're here to support the student movements, we're here to support Kashmiri and Assamese fighters, we're here to support our Muslim community, and we're here to reject CAA, reject NRC, and speak up as a diaspora to show that we are here to build a liberated future that is by us and for all of us. I'd like to end with one more chant. When I say the people united, I want you to scream back, we'll never be divided. Sound good? So the people united will never be divided. The people united will never be divided. The people united will never be divided. Well, thank you. All right, so now I just want to call up Hardeep, who's going to say a few words as well.
It's really nice to see you all here. I know a lot of the faces here. You know, we've said a lot here, so I'm like wondering what I need to say. What I want to do is that we need to look a little deeper at what's happening. I'll give you a little story. Right now in Punjab, there's some work being done. There's people, Punjabis don't know who they are digging the earth at every certain level. And what has happened is that it has been said that there's oil in Punjab. So meanwhile, you know, these corporations are sending these people to look for raw materials in different parts of the country. So I think what we, you know, and they're having us run around. You know, we're running from here to there, which is fine, that's what we need to do. But I think we've got to go much deeper. That this, like, we don't touch corporations here. We're just touching Modi, you know, Amit, like I know him. So I think, we're in a different crisis. And it's not just us in India. This is worldwide. It's a global phenomenon that resources of the world are finite, and certain sections of our societies, our elites, our corporations want those resources. But at meantime, people are in trouble. If you look at Chhattisgarh, what is happening? What is it that they're doing there? They want the resources, and yet we don't touch. We say development, we say corporations, we're going to go and work for them, it's going to be wonderful. So there's a problem here. If you don't touch the corporations, I think you're in trouble. because the alliance between the state, the government, and alliance between the corporation is very big. Actually, liberal democracy, that's how it comes into being, is it was the corporations. India was taken over by corporations. East India Company was a corporation, guys. It wasn't a government. The government was sitting in England, but it was the corporations, and it is the corporations today who are going everywhere worldwide to get their resources. How come we're not touching them? Why? What's the matter? I think we have a block in our own minds. Corporations and the state itself, the governments that come into being, all work together. So I think we've got a lot of work to do in really finding out how do we sustain and maintain and create a new kind of political system in which people have power, not this section. So if we can really have some talkings and we can really do some work in which we ourselves get an understanding of how we want to move in this world. And so like elections come every 5 years. The election, there's 2 political parties, 3 political parties, 14 political parties, but they are interested in their own profits of how they're going to get power. So please, let's do more homework. I can't go beyond that because I can do the demonstrations with you. But if we don't do the work of understanding what is happening and how we're going to solve and find solutions to this whole question of empowerment, this politics is really important. This economics is really important. They're sidelining us into looking at the politics and the economics and what is happening to people. So let's get together and really develop this work. So I think that would be a success for our own people. So they will also have direction. We need direction. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Deep. I know it's very cold. We're wrapping up pretty soon. I'd like to call upon Meena ji to share a few words with us, please.
Thank you, Arif. Hello, friends. Politics is not my cup of tea. Still, I'm standing here in solidarity with the ladies who are doing protest in the Shaheen Bagh in New Delhi, and they have been doing it more than a month. But the political leaders, उनके कानों में जूं भी नहीं फेंक रही. They are least bothered. The leaders are least bothered, although the ladies are standing at Shaheen Bagh for more than a month. So I am standing here in solidarity. I am standing here in against this CAA, and this is not in India. There is a lot of chaos, confusion, and misinformation. I'll tell you how misinformed we are here also, because this is not the first protest. The first protest, we did it on January 5th at Harvard Square. And unfortunately or fortunately, I have a friend who invited me to stand in favor of CAA. And she said that, okay, come on, Nina, thank you for coming. I said, no, I'm going to the other side. So I saw her face, but we were standing on the other side. To my surprise, what happened next day, I opened the computer, YouTube. So there is a channel, Indian channel, that's called Aaj Tak. So Aaj Tak was giving the report of that group that in Boston, in Harvard, said the same day, the same place, 2 events were happening. but the report was only for that event which was in the favor of the government. They was talking about Harvard Square and this and that. And I said, where is my news? Because I was standing there, although we were in the, our number was double, we were making more noise, but government did not care what other people do. Because government is not bothered about the common people. Look what happened during demonetization. During demonetization, the poor people, many of the people, they died standing on the queue, waiting for the, and the worst part, if you can know, the ladies in the house, they save a lot of money. That secret money from their pockets was have to come out in open. That was the worst thing in a family. Like the lady who saves the money for rainy day was gone, exposed. So that's what the government gained nothing. The only message government is giving it that government is not in favor of the common man. They are listening to what their money lenders, Ambani, Adani, Birla, Tata are saying them. So what should we do? We should be very careful. If even if we are spending a single penny, where it is going, for whose welfare we are spending. And there's another protest we are doing, global protest on 26th. Thank you.
Thank you, Ninaji. Thank you very much. So before we bring up our final musical performance and open it up, I think it's mandatory for a protest on CNRC to have a chance on Azadi. Okay, and a lot of people have, like, first of all, people who don't understand Hindustani, Azadi means freedom. But it's not freedom from something, it's freedom of doing things, like freedom of just being. And so the way it goes is like a call and response. The call is for people, for things, the people who want Azadi, from the things we want Azadi from. So I'm just gonna name them and people are gonna respond, say Azadi. And hopefully we'll also have some drumming going on with that. A couple of days ago was also I call it the martyrdom day of Rohit Vemula. He was a victim of institutional murder by the Brahminical establishment, a very bright, smart, young scientist who wanted to do science, and that's what he wanted to do. But the Brahminical establishment, as we know, cannot see the rise of women, of Dalits, of Bahujans in India, and they killed him. And unfortunately, Rohit was not the only one. There have been many, many cases, and there are being many cases. Suraj talked about Payal Tadvi, the young doctor who was through hazing and harassment and bullying, she committed suicide. We had the case of Delta Megwal, this young student from Chennai. So when we raise slogans of Azadi, we need to remember all of them, and also feel that while we are in protest here, struggling, we are also struggling for them. So we don't have Rohits and Deltas and Payals in future. Okay, so I'm gonna start with actually Rohit. So Rohit मांगे, पायल मांगे, डेल्टा मांगे, बिरसा मांगे, फूले मांगे, भगत सिंह मांगे, सावित्री मांगे, अशफाक मांगे, पेरियार मांगे, जयपाल मांगे, अंबेडकर मांगे, अरे बाजारवाद से, अरे मनुवाद से, ब्राह्मणवाद से, बनियावाद से, संघवाद से, अरे भगवे से भी, अरे फतवे से भी, अरे पड़ी पार से, अडानी के यार से, कंगालियों से, जमाखोर से, सूदखोर से, मेहनत की लूट से, लूट की छूट से, औरत होने की, साथी चुनने की, जेंडर चुनने की, अरे ना कहने की, अरे हाँ कहने की, अरे प्यारी प्यारी, अरे सोंधी सोंधी, अरे खर्री खर्री, अरे गुड़ से मीठी, इमली से कट्टी, अरे कट्टी मीठी, अरे आड़ी टेढ़ी, अरे जैसी भी है
है दिल में हमारे, है जान हमारी, है शान हमारी, है जान से प्यारी, है हक तो हमारा, हम लेके रहेंगे, तुम कुछ भी कर लो, हम लेके रहेंगे, है हक तो हमारा, है हक तो हमारा, है शान हमारी, है जान से प्यारी, आजादी, 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 लड़ेंगे, जीतेंगे. Thank you very much. I'd like to call upon Eva. Eva, please.
Hello. I'm going to be singing a song, but first I wanted to say a few words. My name is Ava Sophia. I'm a singer-songwriter in the Boston area, and I'm really happy to have been invited here to speak and sing. For as long as I can remember, my family has been coming to Moody Street to shop for groceries. I was born and brought up in Boston, and the memories I have of weekend family shopping trips speak to me as a quintessential experience of many South Asians who grow up in this area. It was these small pockets of my childhood in which I was able to feel that I didn't have to struggle to be here nor there, past nor present. On Moody Street, I could feel that there was a place for me, just as I am, South Asian American. It was so special to witness South Asians mobilizing for equality in these streets. The term model minority was coined here in the US. At its core, it's a term meant to silence us, to make us feel that our safety and security in this country will be compromised if we don't live up to unattainable white supremacist standards of humanity. I sing this song, Love is Love, today because regardless of the false rhetoric that is being passed around about who represents the South Asian diaspora in the US and what we stand for, we will not be silenced. We choose to be loud and proud of the vast diversity of the South Asian identity, and we will fight to preserve it. We are the ones fighting for equality, justice, and love. Thank you. The song I'm gonna sing is a song I wrote called Love is Love. Oh, if you want to sing, please join me. Learning to live, learning to grow. Give all you have to give, and let your worst part show. We create joy and endure pain. We age from our mistakes and do it again. 'Cause love is love is love is love is love. Oh, love is love is love is love is love. The life that we know could all slip away. Nothing is promised, not one single day. If I need a reason, then love is my choice. If I should speak, then love is my voice. 'Cause love is love is love is love is love. Love is love is love is love is love. Oh, love is love is love is love is love. And we do it all again. Love is love is love is love is love. Would you guys mind joining me for this last one? It's love is love is love is love is love. We're here for love, right? Love is love is love is love is love. Love is love is love is love is love. I know y'all can be louder. I heard you earlier. Love is love is love is love is love. Love is love is love is love is love. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Eva and Agne. That was just great. We are at the end of our thing. You want to announce?
Hi, we have coffee. If everyone turns around, we have coffee for everyone. And what we're hoping is people can warm up, like regroup if they want to go stand somewhere, warm up, come back. We're going to regroup and then start the march down to the Shaw Brothers. But there is enough coffee, more than enough coffee for everyone. There are cups, there's sugar and cream. Help yourselves.
Thank you. Very important announcement. We're also opening it up so people who did not put their name on the list to speak, if they want to come up, say something, sing something, they're most welcome. So please come up here. It's open mic. And of course, have coffee warm up. We're going to march down this way on Moody Street. I'm going to